If you are familiarized with AOE, Anime Original Ending for Attack Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, you are surely familiarized with Muv-Luv, the work that Isayama in many instances has actually made emphasis that he has been inspired heavily by that game, by that visual novel to make his own series, Attack on Titan, and he has repeatedly stated that it's a major source of inspiration for him, for Hajime Isayama.
I got the idea for Attack on Titan from a computer game. The whole universe was under attack from aliens.
So, going into the discussion that the thumbnail of the video promised you probably, because I do make my thumbnails after I finish recording, is that hey, is it still possible for Attack on Titan to have an anime original ending if the anime, the part that is left, the fourth part of the final season, actually does go one-on-one, adapting every single thing in the manga and not deviating from that? This is what we are going to discuss today. I do ask you, before your angry comments in the comment section on any of the two sides, please bear with me. I try to make it a short one, so you actually don't have to listen to me blabbing for a long time about the issue that I think is actually pretty easy to understand once you give it some time and thought. Shurukoni. So the thing about Muv-Luv and the thing about Attack on Titan, I have stated that before in the comment sections in the YouTube that you're probably watching right now. I think in the subreddits and also on Twitter and also on my live streams on Twitch, when people have asked me repeatedly, that's over in the Persian language community. If you want to join the stream, do join, but please when you're saying hi, because they are mostly in Farsi language, but I can handle dual language or triple language streams, do state, I will ask you again myself, but do state that you do not speak Farsi and you need English to be spoken. I do think that I should start to broadcast some streams on YouTube here, or some dedicated English streams on Twitch for AOE discussions. If you want to join, do join. So this is the question that I have been asked and have been getting asked again and again over the time about AOE. What happens if the anime ends the same way as the manga and there is no hints or anything about AOE, and is AOE dead? Before jumping and insulting me and using all the slurs you can, no, it's not dead. And I am going to use Muv-Luv as the basis for that. Look, I know there are two different mediums, visual novels and anime, but the thing here is, it's perfectly possible for Attack on Titan to actually have an anime original ending. It would be actually become kind of a spin-off or something. No, not a spin-off, but an OVA or continuation. It wouldn't be AOE in the sense of the words that anime original ending is, hey, anime ended. But if they continue that, if they make a movie, it makes total sense. And why isn't that actually a bad idea? First of all, let's not just jump into the real world benefits and shits that Mappa takes from that on Hajime Isayama. Let's talk about how this is possible and it makes sense if Attack on Titan is a ripoff of Muv-Luv Alternative and Muv-Luv Extra and Muv-Luv blah blah blah. Muv-Luv in general. Between Muv-Luv and Muv-Luv Alternative, that the main shit actually begins, let's say, there is a gap. The game was released on February 23 and Alternative actually is released on February 26. There is a 3-year gap. You know, we hope chats, we AOE people do love divorce, the number 3, 13, 4, shits related to that. We are conspiracy theories kind of being maddened by some things like that appearing. But here's the thing, here's the case that I'm going to make. If Muv-Luv did that, I do not understand why Attack on Titan would not do that. And also, it makes sense from a business standpoint for Mappa. Mappa would gain a humongous amount of money, because explaining AOE, explaining if it goes AOE, that I believe it does, would require a lot of time. That's one of the main issues with the AOE being confirmed and everything concluded in what is left of Attack on Titan right now. So here's the thing, a movie, you know, anime movies do sell a lot, and Attack on Titan is hyped as fuck. You did see that on Twitter when the 1-hour episode came out. People do love Attack on Titan. I know a lot of people are trying to make it seem that, hey, Attack on Titan is dead, no one likes that anymore, the hype is dead, but it's not. You did see that yourself too. people were mad at Crunchyroll for not actually putting out Attack on Titan the night that it came out. So it would make sense for Mappa to take their sweet time and actually make a movie and do sell shitload of tickets and gain a humongous amount of money, because Blu-ray sales, they don't really give them that much revenues. I do invite you to actually study on that, because Blu-ray sales are not really that important if you consider how much they gain on Blu-ray and how much they usually sell. Sorry, my bad English. But here's the thing, financial standpoint, it makes perfect sense. The high part, it does make sense. It also gives them enough time. And Mappa does love money, and anime studios in general do love money. I would do that if I were Mappa. And the thing about, hey, the surprise would be ruined, I wouldn't really say that it's a valid point. Look, there aren't that many people that are familiarized with AOE. Many people don't even understand what AOE is. They can revive the hype after a few years, and I'm gonna talk about when I think a new movie would come out. The hype would be revived, they would be selling merchandise again, people would be interested in the manga again, they would buy the volumes they don't have, they would rewatch the thing. On a financial standpoint, it's a pretty good idea. I mean, if Mappa doesn't know about and Hajime Isayama, they don't know about, on the off chance that I do not think, they do not know about AOE and the things that are happening. They did troll us with Zeke in the 100 camp thingy, you do remember that, right? So they must be fully aware of what's happening. So if they are aware of what is actually happening, it's a pretty bad business model to not pursue something that gives them a shitload of money. And hey, again, we don't know how AOE would go. The thing about Mikasa dying and stuff, we aren't really sure about that. These are just takes we have from the signs and everything we have, but there are some concrete signs. And here's the case that I want to make. Very probably, I would do that. I would leave some few hints at the end of Attack on Titan, the part that we have right now, that in the next year, in the next few months. I would leave a few hints. So later on, I would say it would be 2026 or 2025. And I'm going to explain why. The reasoning, in my opinion, is that, hey, this is going to get a little bit crazy. Hajime Isayama, as does Oda, loves playing with numbers. We have seen that. He loves the number 13. So, if I was Hajime Isayama, and I was going to conclude everything, and I do remember the panel that had the number 13 in the manga, I would end it all on the anniversary, on the 13th anniversary of Attack on Titan. That would be 2026. To give you an exact date, Attack on Titan began on April 2013. So wouldn't it be cool if it actually ended, the whole thing, the whole AOE anime original, everything, on April 7th, 2026? That's the case I'm making. I'm betting that probably that's the date, in my opinion. I would probably be a lunatic alone thinking about talking about AOE till 2026. I wouldn't give up until 2026. That's my point, and that's the point I was going to make, considering how they are trying to make everything go by the numbers and everything. So yeah, do leave me comments. I will try to read them and answer them all, but I do think that I kind of need to start making streaming here, sorry. And yeah, it's a far reach, but I do think that's possible. Mark my words, the videos, I will never eliminate or make private some of the videos I have. That will never happen. But do know that this is my bet as an AOE hope chat. And there are more contents about AOE coming up, and mostly theories and some arguments about AOE evidences that we kind of missed in the 1 hour episode special. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day and good night. And as we say in Farsi, shab و روزگارتون بخیر.